What's up, family? Welcome back to episode number 9 of PJ's Take. I want to introduce my guest. Cam, say what's up.
What's up, y'all? My name is Cam, 21. I'm PJ's younger brother. Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. So, with that being said, today we're going to talk about being yourself, kind of what that entails, what that means, how we apply that to our lives, what it doesn't look like, and what it does look like. So, what does being yourself, what does not look like? That looks like people pleasing, and that looks like attention seeking. Cam, what you think about that, bro?
Not being yourself, to me, that means like just not being genuine with yourself, not being real with yourself. Like you just doing what other people around you doing. Like you have no real identity. And it's like you just floating by the wind. You know what I'm saying? You don't have your feet not planted.
Not for
To
that.
me,
That's real talk. Yeah, that's real talk. I think that identity like is such a big deal because like attention seeking. If you look at social media, people just try to emulate other people, and they just want their 15 minutes of fame. They don't have no identity. They don't have like no
right,
like people don't got like no self worth because they too like involved in what other people got going on for.
right.
And then people pleasing, like I said too. Like for me, like I used to people please because I wanted to be popular, and I was just going with the crowd. I was just going with the wind, like you said, like, and that was me all throughout high school too, and up to 25 years old, I can finally say that I'm not a people pleaser no more. And then when I started doing that, some people stopped rocking with me, but I knew I was being true to myself. And when you're being true to yourself, people's true colors are going to show. To be honest, what you think?
Right. When you being your genuine self, like that's when people can't control you and like people can't like tell you what to do and stuff like that. And I know you're just a different person. Like you're your own person. You're not going for everything to go for. Like things just different. So
Why do you think people get caught up with like the crowd mentality, like trying to do what's like popular? Like, why do you think that's so prevalent? And it's been going on like our whole lives. Like we see people doing it like every day.
um, I think like one of the reasons is like people scared to be alone. I feel like people scared to stand on their own 2 feet. It's like I don't know, like especially with social media, like you said, like it's so easy to get caught up in like what everybody else is doing. Anything other than the norm is considered crazy, I guess. Uh, people need friends and stuff like that. They just need validation. And like when you're not being yourself, like you need all that stuff. But like when you being yourself, like you can stand on your own 2 feet and like, be courageous in yourself.
That's good. Being courageous in yourself. So why you said like being alone? So like you correlate being alone as being a good thing? Like most people would say that's a bad thing.
I say it's a good thing because like I don't know, it's just alone, like it's just better for yourself. You listening to yourself, you doctoring your own rules and stuff like that. Like, I feel like it's more genuine. Like it just makes it changes you when you're alone.
You said it make you dangerous.
I say it makes you different.
Oh, my fault.
Yeah. It makes you different. Like being alone, I get gifts and all that. Great thing. Um,
No, for sure. You can definitely do great things. But like speaking of being courageous, like that goes hand in hand with confidence, right?
right.
And I think being yourself, confidence looks like being yourself. And like I referenced the scripture that say that in the fear of the Lord is strong confidence. And like this is stipulation. It don't say in how much money you got. It don't say how many Instagram followers you got.
Right.
It don't say in how big your house is, how many cars you got. It's in the fear of the Lord. It's strong confidence. and I feel like when you when you being yourself, living for God and not really living for like the opinion of other people. And that you actually sent that to me one time in a text, and it really encouraged me. Like being yourself in the fear of the Lord is it'll take you a lot farther than trying to fit in with the crowd. Really, I don't know what you think.
Now that's facts though. When you're alone and you like for God for real, uh, he'll show you everything he's doing in life, and he's gonna like be and all that. You won't even need like 5, 10 friends to give you that confidence that you need every day. You really only need.
You think like having a smaller circle is like better? Like how would you compare that having a smaller circle of like more intimate, more genuine friends versus having a big circle? You know what
I
I mean?
mean, small circle is definitely better for feel like in a big group. Like, no way that everybody's being themselves and everybody's being genuine in a big group. Like, there's no way. That's why, like, a group of like 2, 3, or 4, or even one, like, that's good because everybody's on
Even
the
one?
same. Yeah, because everybody on the same page. They're not like unequal. You know what I mean?
Nah, I feel that. I definitely I would say like because back in school I wasn't really like popular, and I would look at the people who was in the bigger circles and I would like envy them, and I would be like, you know, what could I do to be in their shoes? And I would say that was a pretty toxic way of thinking for real, because like now I like like you said, I like having a smaller circle, like
Mm.
because iron sharpens iron, right? So like you keeping yourself sharp. And then like another scripture I like, and it say that it's a the kisses of an enemy are bad, but like the wounds of a friend are good. And it's saying like people who are being fake, like in your big circle, like the kisses of an enemy. So it's saying like they just go with the flow. They don't care about your well being. But the wounds of a friend are good because that means they're giving you tough love, and they're telling you how it is, and it's gonna
Right,
hurt, but it's gonna help you grow at the same time. That's how I
right.
look at it. It kind of goes back to what you were saying too.
That's that. Like what you said, iron
Yeah,
sharp.
but oh my fault. Go ahead.
Like you said, iron sharp is iron. So, uh,
Yeah. Yep. Iron sharpens iron. And then like another aspect of what being yourself does look like is who God called us to be. So Jeremiah 29:11. I'm sure you heard it before, but it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." So I feel like if you know that you know that you know who you are in God, then other people's opinions don't really matter. Would you say so?
no, that's facts. If you know your identity in God, like, your plan, you know His plan for your life, and you know His will. Like, there's really nothing else anybody can tell you. Anything else is extra. Like,
Mm.
like you don't need a friend to tell you otherwise. You know what I mean?
Nah, for real. Remember when you texted me and you had said you said something along the lines of people try to sway you their way. Remember what you were saying?
Um, I feel like people like nowadays, like they or anytime they trying to make you like them. You know what I mean? So they trying to put you on to what they like and put you on to you know what's most important in their lives. I feel like when you're not being yourself, you're gonna go for that and you're gonna do like what they usually do. And when you're being yourself, like you can like it draws a line in the sand. So it's like you're doing your own thing. Like you're not trying to be somebody else, which is dangerous. I feel like.
Nah, that's real dangerous. So I know back in school you was, I guess people would consider like popular. So like was it hard to like go from being I guess like well known, well liked. Well, you're still well known and well liked, but was it hard going from being in the big crowds to like being more true to yourself and being locked in and focused on what you got going on?
Definitely because like it's crazy because I felt that like as soon as I graduated, like as soon as I graduated, that's when like 90, 80% of my friends, like I started talking to them and stuff like that. So like things was just
You said as
different.
soon as you graduated.
Yeah,
Mm,
because like after I graduated, I had like started working a full-time job, so I really had lost a lot of my friends then because I was working like all
mm.
night. So it wasn't until like I say like this year and like beginning like halfway through last year that I really locked in with God. You know, like He really showed me like what's my plan and like was really like closer to me this whole time period because I
That's
really
real
like.
talk. That's real talk.
But yeah, it was definitely hard though because like I don't know, I'm kind of like introverted and extroverted, so like I like being around people, but then again, I don't like I like having like a lot of people, like a lot of friends and stuff, but at the same time, I need alone time. So it was kind of
I
hard to
feel that.
just not being around everybody. But
I feel that.
I kind of got used to it, like during that time that I really found my purpose, stuff like that, really locked in on my crafts and all that.
So like, especially like during the pandemic, right? Because
Right,
I was like crazy.
crazy
But
time.
so you talk about being locked in with God. Like you told me, but I want you to tell the people listening like how that went for you. Like the stuff you struggle with, how God like helped you. Just like all the conversations we had. Like tell the people because I feel like those are some gems that they need to hear.
I'm gonna tell you what I can remember. Like, no, I was really like I was smoking jewels a lot. I was smoking weed a lot. I was getting drunk. You know, like being locked in with God. Like I really had to cut that stuff out. Like last year, that's when I cut out the jewels. Like, I had a whole crazy experience with that, like my lungs and stuff like that. Long stuff. Uh, that out last year. Like, I've been breathing better and all that, getting closer to Him. Uh, the weed was like really a big problem because I had used that to cope. Like I used that to cope, to eat, to be
To
happy in
eat.
general. Yeah, because like
Mm.
if you smoke weed, I don't think you have to smoke weed, but it's like when you smoke weed, like you stop, like you can't really eat. I was
No,
getting
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
like you only get hungry like, when you smoke. So like I was really codependent. On it. And I was drinking too. I had to cut that all that out. You know, uh, and ever since I did all that stuff, like I really got closer. I really made strides in like my craft, my music, my clothes and stuff like that, and just in my spirit in general. Like I really got farther than I ever would have had I not done it.
Bro, your
And
testimony is like powerful, bro.
yeah, bro, crazy time.
Crazy, bro.
I'm just glad I'm on the other side of it. I'm just
Nah,
glad
for
that
real.
I'm glad that I'm in a better place, and I'm glad that I'm locked in with God now.
Nah,
Like
for real.
for
That's
sure,
real
for
talk.
sure.
That's real talk.
Yes,
I think
sir.
I would say, I think I would say, I definitely got more locked into with God. Like, I don't know if people know, but like growing up in like a church household, like you don't really get a say, and if you go to
You
church
right.
or not. So like it was kind of like the norm to go to church, and like back at Greater Remnant, it was Sunday school, and then church, and then he came back for night service, and then like Bible studies and choir rehearsal. And like growing up, that's kind of like the norm. So you're just conditioned to like accept everything. But like as I got older and left the crib, I had to find out answers more on my own. Like my prayer life, like got so much better. and my reading my word got more consistent with that too. And like I had to cut some things out, like bro, I was so bad with comparing myself to other people, like because I
Right.
wasn't being myself. That goes back to being yourself. I was so bad at that, and I had to cut that out. I had to cut out, pornography, and it's just a lot,
Yeah.
bro. Like I really had to cut that stuff out because that stuff is really toxic, and like people glorify that garbage, and I had to stop. Like it really was not for me at all.
Right.
But so like, so you being locked in with God, you
Mhm.
explained that. So you said being locked in with your craft. So what does that mean? Like, how did that apply to you?
Man, and I cut out all the drugs and stuff like that. Cut out all the porn, like you said. And really like I went like kind of naked out here. Like you just like what's next? You think about in your mind. You just think about your craft now. But all that time I was spent doing the other stuff, like it was now put toward my craft. So it's like every day I wake up, I gotta do X, Y, Z. Like I write it down. Like, I really like make beats every day. Like write something, draw something out, like something like toward my craft.
I know you've been more consistent in your word too.
Right. Yeah, I've been reading the Bible every day. Like I try to read at least like 5 to 10 chapters a day. Like, I'm trying to read the whole thing through. But it's yeah, getting locked in with your craft, like just doing something towards it every day. Because everybody got different talents. So, like the ones that hone in like and be fruitful with them every day. Like that's how you get great. And that's what I try to do.
Real talk. Real talk. Was it hard to cut out like all that stuff that you mentioned? Like, was it hard?
But yeah, it was extremely hard because I had started smoking when I was like I think like 8th grade year or summer. That's when I had started smoking. So like I had been doing it for like a long period of time.
That's
If
a
you
long
think about
time.
yeah, like I used to like my first thing was like a cigarette, and then like I used to Black and Miles, and then weed and all that dudes.
Hmm.
Like especially the porn. Like I started porn like middle school, like 6th grade,
Hmm.
maybe even 5th grade. So it was like those things kind of like became a part of me. So like it was really hard to stop. But once I did, like I felt really better.
You
Like
feel like
everything,
you
everything.
you feel like you feel like you got your identity back
Oh, for
when you
sure,
got more locked in with God. Like you was
for
more
sure.
of yourself.
Most definitely. Like he the only one that can give you your identity. You know what I mean?
Mm. Say that again.
Like he's the only one that can give you your identity.
So, not social media,
Nah,
not how much money you have,
nah,
not how popular you are.
nah.
Okay. See, I wish I heard that years ago. Like I really needed to hear that. But
Yeah.
that's real talk.
Everybody's born different. Everybody got their own thing. You know what I mean?
I think it really takes maturity for real to acknowledge that like you need to cut things out to be to like it don't matter to be popular. Like it takes maturity to realize like being the most like, and I feel like anyway like if you always the most like you probably doing something that you're not being true to yourself. I think.
Right. I feel like at the same time though, like the people that everybody likes, like those are the ones that's doing. Those are the ones that's being themselves. You know what I mean?
Wait, what you mean? What you mean?
Like the people that everybody like kind of like flock to. Those are the ones that's being themselves. Those are the ones that are different. I
So they're not like they cut from a different cloth.
wouldn't say cut from different clubs, but like they just they just being themselves. People just people tend to like that, flock to that. I say like be a leader, follower.
Wait, say that one more time.
I said be a leader, not a follower.
Be a leader, not a follower.
Yeah,
People are more attracted to leaders instead of followers.
yeah,
I like that, bro. I like that.
yeah.
That kind of reminded me back on that scripture I was saying, bro. And like the part I really like when it said the plans that God has for us, like plans and goals. I feel like somebody who's being they self is somebody who's like they got goals that they're working towards, and then they don't get distracted. Like, what are
Right.
some goals? Like, what are some goals that you've had that you've been since you cut all that stuff out that you mentioned before that you've been like more locked in with?
Um, this album, uh, I would say just like being more fruitful with my gifts in general. Like, cause when I was doing those things, I would take up like half my day or even more. So
Working
it's
on your
like
album.
working on my album or just anything. Like when you're doing those other things that like before you cut them off, like that's all you think about. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah,
How
like
was
being
that?
more fruitful.
Being more fruitful.
Yeah,
So how was that? So obviously that's the first for you, right? Like coming out with an album. So like,
yeah.
how did you like tackle that? Because I'm sure you've had some like like some stuff that you never like went through before or experienced before doing this. So was it
Yeah.
hard? Was it hard to like get locked in with it in the sense of like knowing what to do and what not to do and stuff like that?
Um, I don't know. I wouldn't say it was hard, but it was definitely different. Like it was fun to me. Like everything, I embraced like all the ups and downs and stuff.
There's been a lot of
Like
downs.
yeah, like I found out like I love going to the studio and recording and stuff like that. Like, I like doing the creative process, like putting the whole thing together and like sequencing everything. You know, like putting beats where they're supposed to be, mixing the album, which took a long time. That's the whole thing. So cover art, all that stuff. So it was like
It's like a
I
full
wouldn't say
time
it was
job.
yeah, for real. I wouldn't say it was hard, but it's definitely different. I enjoyed it.
And that was your craft, like working on beats and doing music. Like you always knew you wanted to do that, like work on your craft.
Um, I mean, ever since I got cut from the team, that's all I've been doing is working on beats. Ever since my
So
high
moving
school
from back.
coach, huh?
Nah, say the game. My fault.
I said ever since my high school coach had cut me, I've been locked in with the beats ever since.
I feel that. I feel that. I feel that. I do remember that time too. I remember you was when you got cut, you was definitely going through it.
No, for
And
real.
don't quote me on this, but I feel like that partly had an effect on the stuff that you started like messing with, like or like getting into.
Definitely, it definitely did. Cause after I stopped playing basketball, cause that's like all I knew to do. That's all I wanted to do. So it was like after that, it was like I was hanging out outside more. I didn't have no goals. I didn't have
You
no.
you wasn't
I didn't
goal
have no.
oriented at the time.
Yeah, cause like hooping and doing good in school. Like man, when I stopped hooping, it was just like what matters now. You know.
Now for that, you definitely matured a lot. You and Zion, like all of like you don't understand. Like y'all have matured so much. Like not only spiritually, but like mentally and physically and socially, and it's like night and day almost. Like, but I think that goes back to being yourself
Right.
because, like you said before, like when you're oriented, when you're not just like focused on what everybody else has got going on, when you don't get caught up in all of the hype, then it's, you dangerous. Like you dangerous. Like
You're different. Like
yeah, like the stuff you doing in private, like the stuff you doing in private is gonna like people gonna be shook. Like they don't see it coming.
right,
Like that's the best way to explain it for real.
right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with that being said, you got any final thoughts about it, bro? Like about everything we talked about?
I would just say just be always be yourself. Like learn yourself. Like if you need to spend some time alone and find yourself, that you can be yourself.
Mm.
Mm, You know, like Like once you be yourself, like the world's gonna open up to you, especially if you keep God first. World gonna open up.
I like that, bro.
Your world gonna.
Yes, sir. That's good. My take about it is, I mean, I will 100% agree. Like, you gotta stay true to yourself. I notice a lot of people like they don't even rock with like us doing something like or going to a specific place or doing a specific thing, but they'll do it to like keep a certain friend group or to stay relevant with people. And I think that's the wrong way to look at it. Like, I feel like if you and I've noticed this too. Like when I started being myself more, some people in the past, I would like not thirst for their attention, but
Right.
I would like try to like people like people pleasing. Like I was saying earlier, like I would try to like be funny or say stuff or do stuff just to get people to laugh, just to get people to notice me and give me attention. This is immaturity for real. I feel like, but my take is like if you if you keep God first and live and then fear the Lord, that's where your strong confidence comes in. Not and it don't come in like who you know or what all somebody else can do for you or whatever. But if you live, putting God first, and if you genuine about it, God's gonna honor what you got going on, and that's how I feel about it. Hey, sorry, fam. The audio
But
had got cut out, but you can follow Cameron on Instagram at killer_cam. That's KILLA 4_CAM, all uppercase. And be on the lookout for Live. That is his album coming out this month. I'm very excited for that. And you can follow me on Instagram at PJ Finley 7 and at PJ's Take. That's PJFINLEY and then number 7 and then PJS_Take. So peace and bless up.